right. Let's go. Get the room fill up. I'm gonna let this thing fill up. You know how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Y'all know how it goes. Yeah. Y'all know it. Y'all feel it. Let this room fill up. Yeah. One day at a time, one movement at a time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to all the OGs out there.
Yes, and I'm an OG, so you better best believe I better get some shout out there, man.
Yeah. All of them. Notification SWAT. Y'all SWAT up. Yeah.
Got that good stuff. I heard that.
Let me know when you're ready, Big Game James.
I'm ready, dog. I'm ready to do this, man.
Shout out to all of those who follow in Silver and Blue Nation. Y'all know how this thing go, right?
Mm-hmm.
A win is a win is a win is a win. It could be against your mama and a cousin in Pee Wee football league. It can be against Tupac and Biggie. It can be against the Water Boys All Stars Walmart League. A win is a win is a win is my book. How you feel about that?
I mean, I'm going to go along with you with the win is a win is a win because anything, I mean, it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, it's been talked about time and time again. And if you don't bring your A game, these other players are professionals, even though they may not have the ability of your team or might not be on the level of your team. They're still NFL players. They still get paid. And so it is hard to win in the NFL. People don't understand that. It is very hard to win. And so even though we might look at a booty team like the Lions or the Giants or the Cardinals, if you don't come to bring your game, as we saw what happened with the Jets, those things will happen any given Sunday. So I'll definitely take that win. Even though I don't like that the Lions dropped 27 points on us with Jeff Driscoll, I'll still take that win beating the Lions.
Yes, indeed, man. And on top of that, we still play down to the level of competition.
That's who we are, dog.
That's who we are. That's our identity. We start.
That's our
slow.
MO.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna check this out, Law. I had made a post. I was looking on Facebook on my memories. You know, you got your memories on your Facebook.
Right.
So I was going through my memories on my Facebook, and it was 2012. 2012. And I had a post, and it said, "Same old Cowboys playing down our competition." Ain't that a damn shame?
Same stuff, man. Same stuff, different year. And here's the thing. We accept the win. Don't get it twisted, Cowboy Nation. We're not complaining. We're not mad at the sky for being blue. You see. Shout out to all of the blue skies that's out there.
Blue skies out there.
But what I'm saying is that what Big Game James is echoing, we can't do this against a good team. We can't start.
We saw what happens when we do it against a good team. We lose.
We lose. We walk around with sad sorrows. In sorrow's kitchen, we will be living. So here's the thing. I'm gonna break down this right quick. I'm gonna tell you, man, the key to the game. I do know that a lot of people are gonna say Dak Prescott. A lot of people are gonna say the young phenom Tony Pollard, and there was a sighting for Ezekiel Elliott. But the key to this game, this last game, we're gonna recap it, was my brother from another mother, number 13, Michael Gallup.
Yeah, he went nasty.
The reason why I say he was nasty, because think about this, Cowboy Nation. This guy lost his brother last year during this time with heavy hearts. He was out there on the field. Of course, he already had his knee already rescoped this year, but he came out there really ready to play, to ball, even though he said, hey, I ran the wrong route, but I'm going to make sure on my brother's name almost, I'm going to hold this ball tight, and I'm going to make sure I secure this ball, and I'm going to bring it home. We got a dog now on our team he's not even the number one receiver, Big Game James, but I guarantee you his heart, soul, and mind and sinew is there for being number one.
Yeah, definitely. And just to kind of bounce off that, let me give a few shout outs that's in the chat group. What's up, Ryan Humphrey, my dog? I'm gonna let the people know about him. Tyrone Church, what's up with you? Eastside Harold, yeah, I see your little hating self up in there, but I love you, dog. Kathleen, how you doing? Texas 346 was good. Chef FWD 2010, what's up with you? Tell your mother, your sister, your brother, get out here, like and share this right now so we can get everybody up in here. And remember, donation, we take those and we love those. But just to kind of bounce off you, Law, when you're talking about Michael Gallup, first of all, people forget he was injured, right?
Right.
He had that little injury. He came back. I was worried about him coming back too soon. He came back in the Jets.
Right.
And so you had Amari Cooper go out of that game, and we were like, dang, we were waiting for Michael Gallup to have that kind of step-up game, even though he was playing all world before he got hurt. We were waiting. So if Cooper went down, okay, we're feeling good because we know we got a guy or we got a kid named Michael Gallup who's been balling this year. We thinking he can step up and do something. He didn't step up that game. Had me a little frustrated in that game. Like, dang, come on, dog. We need you. But you know what's a beautiful thing?
What's that?
I think he got healthier as he got along. He got healthier, got more confidence back in that knee. And that's the key. If you play sports and you have and I have, if you played any kind of sports and you had any kind of injury, especially with surgery on that injury, and you have to come back in that same year, I don't care how good you are, it's going to weigh on your mind to be thinking about something, especially if you play a contact sport like football, especially if you're a receiver that uses your leg, especially if you got the cuts and jumps up in the air and you're using that knee. So that's going to be cognizant in your brain. I think maybe, in my opinion, that had a little bit to do with maybe him slowly coming back or maybe not having the full confidence in that Jets game because he just came back in that game. Now you still starting to see that confidence again, him running strong on that knee, him going hard on that knee. And you see what happened. 6 catches, over 140-something yards. And what was beautiful, Amari Cooper only had 3 catches. He really didn't do anything, and we needed somebody else to step up, especially where the offense was going with Ezekiel Elliott not being able to get his yards. It was great to see a guy come in, step up, dominate like he did. And Randall Cobb, let's give him some props too, because the last 2 games he's had 200-yard games. And what do we have been saying? At least I've been saying that we need more from Randall Cobb. I haven't balked on the swap out between him and Cole Beasley, but I said we need more from Randall Cobb. He has some fumbles, he has some drops, and we needed more from this veteran, especially going on this stretch run. And what better time for a player to step up these last 2 games, Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb, because we're going to need those guys, especially Amari Cooper is not going to be 100%. Right. We should know this.
He's been
injured not going to be 100%
since training camp almost. Yeah.
So he's not going to be 100% the rest of this year. So we should already understand that. He ain't going to be 100%. So we need Gallup and we need Cobb, and the best thing to do is to step up right now. I don't care if it's the Lions. They still made plays.
Yes, indeed. And let me give a quick shout out to everybody that's supporting the nation and everybody that's watching along. And don't forget to hit that share button. Sharing.
Share.
Yes, because love is lovelier the second time around. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. That's on my Facebook page, man. Sandy, Shane, and Nesto, and who is this? Victor. All of you all that's down there, I really appreciate you all for being on my Facebook Elite panel. And then I'm going to roll over here to Young Wilson that's putting down the donation to help grow
Donation.
And Antoine, my God, my brother from another mother, who always hold me accountable now. He always makes sure that I lay it straight, and I like that. I like when people chin check me a little bit and say, Law, hold on, Law, you wrong
I don't
on
mind
this.
it. Yeah, I don't mind it either.
Look, hold on. I don't like it at all. I'm lying.
So you love it?
I love it. I love that brother right there, man. He always keep it straight and narrow. You see, him and my guy Jay that's in the chat over here on the YouTube page, J Farm, he always keep me straight, meticulous cowboy, and an elite Rod. I ain't talking about small time Rod. I'm talking about elite Rob and Captain America and G Real, all of those boys, man. I really appreciate you all, man. Really do, man. I love it. James,
I love it.
Who you got over there, man? Who you got? You already gave your shots out, right?
Yeah, I gave my shout-outs. I got to give shout-outs to my boo thing. And like I said, get out there and share. Mark Scott, what's up? He just jumped in. Stevie Mac 23, what's up with y'all, dog? And get out here and donate. Just like you said, we had a fire show. It was all kind of donations. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to drop $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, holla.
Before we get into that situation with the donation, let me say this right quick. It's so important for you guys to support these platforms. You see,
man, we can't grow without y'all, dog.
Just like Brian Broadus,
they get paid.
They get paid, but Brian Broadus,
they ain't doing it for free.
He ain't doing it for free. He had to say, "Hey, man, I'm walking away from the situation." We already,
you feel me? I'm gonna get on my own.
Right.
I'm gonna get that bread though.
Yeah. So this Big Game James platform, you see how this thing go?
Yes, sir.
Or this Law Nations platform.
Yes,
Nobody
sir.
can say, Hey, Law, can you curb your conversation a little
Nope,
bit?
because this is ours.
Hold on,
They don't tell
James.
us what to do.
By golly, James, you better stop talking about Jason Garrett like that.
I bet y'all won't.
You better not talk about Ezekiel Elliott. You better not talk about Randall Cobb dropping a pass here and there.
Exactly.
But here's the thing that I want to bring home to everybody. And shout out to you, Devon, and shout out to you all that's still on my Facebook page. Here's the thing that I want to bring home to everybody. When we talk ill of a player, it doesn't mean that it's set in stone. Doesn't mean it's concrete. What we saying is that there's still room for improvement. We got 6 more games left on the docket. So if we say that this person is playing like trash, or if we saying that that person needs to do this better or that better, it's just our opinions. We don't know exactly what's going on in the locker room, but these are our collective thoughts, what we bring out to everybody and say, hey, this person needs to improve. But it doesn't mean that that's the end-all, be-all. And it does not mean that just because we speak ill of a player that we want that player not to succeed. You see what I'm saying?
Just man, you better stop apologizing about that, man. You just better just tell them it is what it is. Like I said, if those guys were not playing sports and I was having a job and they came in and I was selling them something and I didn't do my job, we talked about that before. They're going right. They're going to go over to my manager like, what the hell is he doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It happens in life. Nobody is above any kind of criticism and nobody is trying to point fingers or blah, 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 this and that. But it's reality. If you're not playing well or it shows, we watch tape, so it shows that you're not making this assignment or missing this assignment. Well, we're not supposed to say something about that? Yeah, you're supposed to say something about it because those are the things that are causing you from not getting to the victory or getting to where the team needs to go. So things need to be said. Like I said, nobody wants to sit there and call out Ezekiel Elliott or dog a coach or say, Tristan Hill, you're a bust right now. You haven't been activated in like 5 straight games. Right. You're a bust right now. And I see in some of the comments, Noah Brown, I said, why in the very beginning? Why are you even on the team? Why are they carrying Noah Brown? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They said they were keeping him the injury reserve until 8 games.
Right.
It's past 8 games and we still ain't heard about him. You get what I'm saying? So that was a wasted roster spot. So we're not supposed to talk about that. That's why we have these platforms to talk about those things, because that type of decision doesn't make sense.
And you won't get it anywhere else. You won't
Hell
get it
no.
Anywhere else.
You're gonna get the censored version, or you're gonna listen to a Nick Eatman. And I ain't hating on you, dog. If you listen to us, I apologize. But are you really watching tape, dog?
No. And shout out to .com, but DallasCowboys.com for those who
shout out
know.
to you. I love you and still follow you. You
Yeah,
know you ain't got Brian Brothers no more.
Yeah, yes, indeed. We still follow them. We still love them. You know how it goes. But here's the thing. I heard for 3 years straight, and then this is a segue that I'm going to bring up, that the guy can't hit water if he fell off a boat. This team is the end-all, be-all is Ezekiel Elliott. The guy that's passing the ball, he's benefiting from Ezekiel Elliott. He can't win on the one-on-ones. Big game James, can you talk about this performance of 444 yards from this guy, Dak Prescott? Can you just bring down the thunder from over there where you at about this brother?
Well, dog, I've been talking about Dak Prescott for a long time, and I'm one of the few people, and I'm going to put my hand up and pump my chest about it. I'm one of the few people, even when Dak Prescott got drafted in 2016, I stayed the course. I've stayed the course with Dak Prescott. Right. Now, I will tell you, 2018, I had a rant. I had a rant on Dak Prescott. I had a 3-game rant like, come on, Dak, step your game up. Was going ham on him, talking all kind of trash. Get your game together. But at no time did I ever say, I don't want you to be the quarterback. At no time did I didn't think you could do it. I just wanted you to step up and be more consistent because I knew you could be that guy. And guess what? I believe, and guess what you're showing? You're showing improving. You posted on your page and I posted on mine the improvement in the years from Dak Prescott. 2016, 23 touchdowns, 4 picks. Then you come in 2017, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks. Then you come in 2018, and then I believe you had 24, 23 touchdowns and 8 picks. Now you're looking at this year, 21 touchdowns, 9 picks, and let's look at these picks. 2 of them were Hail Marys. 3 of them jumped off of receivers' hands. So you can say right there 5 interceptions may not be even his, so you should really looking at 4 interceptions right now. He is leading the league, the whole entire NFL in passing. Okay, let's go back and rewind that right quick. And then y'all think he was going to do that? Did anybody in Dallas Cowboys, fan, media, or anything think he was going to be leading the NFL in passing right now? No, you didn't. He already has how
outside of Mark Holmes, nobody.
Outside of Mark Holmes. I'm gonna get my outside of Mark Holmes. Now also, Dak Prescott has what, 400-yard games? Okay, and he'll have an NFL record if he does another one. Think about that.
Another
Dak
one?
Prescott,
Yes.
if he has another 400-yard game, he will have an NFL record, dog.
Not a Dallas Cowboys record, right?
Not a Dallas Cowboy record, an NFL record. And then even right now, you're looking at the MVP race. He's just now getting in because I guess of the wins. But I said it 2 weeks ago. Why is he in the MVP race? He's got 21 touchdowns. Best or one of the tops right now in the league. You're looking at the other guys has more yards than anyone else, averaging more yards per game, 322 yards. Still has a rating of 104 consistently all year. And then when we needed him once again, when they shut down the run or our run schemes, I don't care what the hell it was. Either the run schemes weren't doing it or either the guys were getting beat off the ball. Ezekiel Elliott cutting in when he has the edge and he cutting inside. I don't know what the hell it is, but all I do know is this, that when they put the game on Dak, he threw 46 times. Remember, we were all scared if Dak had to throw the ball over 40 times a game that we were going to lose that game. Remember back in that day, don't let Dak throw every time we're going to lose. Yeah. But now it looks like there's a changing of the guard. Yes, I said a changing of the guard, that Dak Prescott, we're going as he goes. If he has a good game passing, I feel confident now. And also I feel confident. I was a little worried in 2018. Can he take us down and win the game? But he is showing that he can. He is showing. And also, let's give another big shout-out, Law, to John Kitna. I wrote an article about him, and I said, John Kitna's going to do wonders for Dak Prescott. Make sure you're going to check out that article. I didn't write one about him.
I'm going to
check it out. It was a damn good article, and I broke down his videos and what he was under Mike Martz. Okay,
wow.
He was around Andy Reid. Yeah. He was around a lot of good offensive minds. We saw what John Kitna do, and he has worked wonders for Dak Prescott. And so now you feel comfortable. 444 yards, 46 passes, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns, and just look beautiful and playing it. Quick and precise with his passing, sharp with his throws, and he's releasing the ball quicker. And that's a lot of times what we are worried about. Dak was holding the ball too long. Only 14 sacks this season. And one of the reasons why people were crying about Dak last year when he had over 50 sacks was he's holding the ball too long. We don't see that this year. And our offensive line is not the offensive line of 2014 and 2016. They are doing great in the pass blocking, but Dak has stepped his damn game up, and we're seeing the fruits of his labor.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of fruits of labor, I'd be remiss to not speak on Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, you see. Good, wonderful talking points about Dak Prescott. But I will be foolish and I will be unwise to say Ezekiel Elliott does not belong on this team and not get credit for what he brings to the table. Cowboy Nation, I want to hear you guys. Let me know how you all feel about Ezekiel Elliott. But before you guys start typing and texting and all of these things, I would say what Ezekiel Elliott brings to the table, Big Game James, 8 and 9-man boxes. Even though it may be from the snap, you can look at it and say, oh, there's only 6 or 7. They still rolling that safety deep down inside right before the snap occur. So a lot of times it may look like it's a 7-man front. It can be still an 8. It may look like it's a 6-man front, but they bring it in and sliding in that linebacker or that safety inside the box. And this is what we wanted Dak Prescott to improve on all offseason and last year. Passing the rock on the one-on-ones when it's soft coverage. Now I'm looking at it when he was out there during training camp, Big Game James. You saw it. We was looking at it like, man, this brother is taking advantages of the one-on-ones on the outside. If Dak Prescott throw like this during the season, man, he's going to have MVP year. We were saying that.
We were talking about
that.
We were saying it. Yeah. We were saying it.
And guess what?
There, we were saying it.
Dak sees it and he releasing it. He's not thinking about it. He's going through his shout out to John Kitna. I'm about to say Kirk Cousins. I don't know why I'm thinking about Kirk Cousins, but shout out to John Kitna for being able to work on Dak Prescott. Everybody talking about the arms and everything, but shout out to him by working out on his legs, those stepping up through the pocket with those feet, being nimble and always keeping himself loose. Got everybody in the NFL. Some people need to stop doing it, but got everybody doing the Dak Prescott hip movement, man. Hey,
exactly.
Sometime before I go to bed at night, ladies. I want to tell them. That's when I go to bed at night. You know, that stuff kind of work, man. Might have a junior on the way,
Right.
man. You know how that thing that just being able to be loose with it, man. Yeah, you know, get out of the shower make me want to just get ready for it. So I'm telling you guys that this team is looking different as it relates to offense, but we'll talk about the defense a little bit later down the line. But shout out to Ezekiel Elliott for demanding that type of an attention.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, nobody's dogging Ezekiel Elliott on my end. He's still a dog in my eyes. I just said he's not that same player, and that's what I see. He's not the 2016 Ezekiel Elliott that had that speed. You know, when the Dallas Cowboys drafted Ezekiel Elliott,
right,
he came in with a 4.45, okay, and he was trim. He was a 225-pound back, but he was a trim college weight, 225.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why we loved Ezekiel Elliott was that explosiveness.
Right.
We knew that if Ezekiel Elliott could get that ball 2016, he got a crease, he could take it to the house. That's what we had been missing because, remember, we had a DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray was a cowbell. He wasn't a guy that was going to, once he got through the line, he was going to take it to the house because I've seen many games where people ran DeMarco Murray down. And that was the difference between him and Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott was more explosive. That's what you're talking about a Tony Pollard right now.
Right. Ooh,
I think Ezekiel Elliott is more of a power back, but there's nothing wrong with that. I've seen power backs get 1,500 yards in a season, Jerome Bettis. I've seen a Natron Means back in the day with the San Diego Chargers, big backs that could get those type of yards. So I just think that he is more of that type of back. I've seen when he's rushing out on the edges, he cuts on the inside. It looks like he just tends to go to the middle now. But as you said, he still commands it. You still have to respect Ezekiel Elliott. You have to. And now you have Dak Prescott making teams pay.
Hey, make them pay.
That is what's making the offense beautiful. We have the number one offense. Dallas has the number one offense, and it's been like that since week 2.
And we can be better.
And they haven't even exposed a Blake Jarwin who
you read my mind, Big Game James.
On 7 targets, Jason Witten gets 7 targets, 5 catches for 35 yards, but you get a Blake Jarwin with 2 targets, 2 catches, 38 yards. You saw what he does after the catch. He's not the fastest guy, but you see how quick he gets up on the defense when he catches the ball. He has some explosiveness, and as me and my guy Skywalker still were talking, he's going against those linebackers. He's going against those safeties. So that speed gets more prevalent when you're going against those guys. You have to expose him. He opens up more of the offense. And as I said before, I love Ezekiel Elliott, but Tony Pollard, he's got to get the damn ball. There's a stat right now. When Tony Pollard gets at least 10 touches, Dallas is undefeated.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, I'll just
when he gets double-digit touches, the Cowboys are undefeated. When he doesn't, we are 0-4.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we know the recipe. We know the recipe now. And what it's doing is this would actually help out Ezekiel Elliott because now the change of pace, now you got the opposition thinking like, man, are they really going to try to use this TP guy? Man, when we trying to shut down everything. Don't
let me cut. Before you finish that law, I got a hey-ho donation, $2 holla from donation. My Scott, I love you. Said, love how Dax look, but I don't trust the D. I feel you. Got to read your comment. I feel you. We don't trust the D. We're going to talk about that later, but I got to give my shout out to Mark Scott. Hey ho for the $2 holla, and don't make him feel lonely and by himself. You can donate to, hey, give me 20, 30, 40, 70, I can be all that. So jump on in there and donate. Now go on back what he's talking about, Law. Yes. TP, can I get a witness?
Hey man, TP, are you with me, baby?
Hey, when you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you guys listening? Here's the thing. I want these opposition to think and say to themselves, it's unfair. They got Ezekiel Elliott. And then all of a sudden, once we get tired of tackling Ezekiel Elliott, they got a Tony Pollard. Just like you said, when he get 10 or more snaps.
Man.
Are we talking about snaps?
If he just gets 10 touches in the game, whether it's receiving or rushing, we are undefeated. When he gets below that, we are 0-4.
Man, I'll be looking at that and saying, okay, it's time for us to start playing mind foolery against the opposition. And when we can do that, man, Cowboy Nation, we can go far. It's just that we need to twinker on a little small things. I think that the blocking of the offensive line, I do know that a lot of people say, I did a poll, I asked a lot of people and my guys, Okoye's media film breakdown, is this offensive line average, below average, or above average? And a lot of people saying that the offensive line is average. But when you have the number one offense in the NFL and they are able to pass block, and you can use that same poll and ask thousands and thousands of people that played offensive line, they would say they would rather run block opposed to pass blocking. You see?
Yes.
So there's something that's been missing with it as it relates to this offensive struggle when it comes to the running department. I'm not going to point the finger at Ezekiel Elliott, which like I did before when I had said that, hey, he's just running at above average right now, and a lot of people try to crucify me and nail me on the cross upside down and say, hey, Lord, need to look at the film. Here's the thing. It could be a direct reflection of Kellen Moore. We know that Kellen Moore is a quarterback. He played quarterback coach last year. Now he's the first-time offensive coordinator. Just maybe he haven't turned to that chapter and picked out running plays that are going to be
better
efficient.
running plays.
Yeah, better
Our run schemes are basic, and they're better. They're basic. They're easily seems to scheme, and it seems every game we watch, Law, doesn't seem like we run the same damn run plays. Like they're so obvious, and it's like the defense doesn't have to do anything tricky to stop it. And just like you said, we're just missing, and it's not just Ezekiel Elliott. Guys, Travis Fredericks is losing his battles at times. Suafilo has lost at times. I mean, he graded at PFF, and I'm not that PFF guy. He graded out as 45.5 in the running game. And he's supposed to be one of the guys that when Ezekiel Elliott is in there behind him and Connor Williamson is, Ezekiel Elliott rushes better. But we saw with him in there, he didn't have the greatest run blocking game, but pass blocking, he was great, and that's not one of his strengths. So it's kind of weird how it's kind of going this year because we have great pass blocking, only giving up 14 sacks this year, which is amazing.
That's good.
Only giving up 14 sacks this year, which is amazing. But we're missing in the running game because you got Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's at a career low right now as far as yards per game, as far as averaging. I think he's only averaging like 4.2 or 4.3 as far as yards per carry. I think that's one of his lowest since he's been in the league. We got to figure – the Cowboys have to figure that out. They have to incorporate Tony Pollard because at the end of the day, Dak has been playing all world as far as throwing that ball. But Dallas still needs to run that ball if they're going to go far in the season and in the playoffs.
Yes, because you're supposed to be able to run the rock and stop the run. And this is going to be a segue over to it's the 4,000-pound gorilla that's in the room. We got to talk about it. I don't want to even talk about it because you're the minister of defense, and you know I don't like defense at all. I love defense.
Exactly.
We got to talk about it, man. Talk to me, man.
I mean, we got to talk about it because the problem is this with this defense. We had a game where the Detroit Lions, not the greatest in the run game, you had one of the guys on injury reserve. The Johnson kid had a concussion. He came back at the last minute, and they pulled Bo Scarborough, who was with the Dallas Cowboys' original pick, off the streets a week before.
It was only a week?
A week before, they picked him up, and he gets 55 yards rushing on us, okay? And not just that, the Cowboys give up over 100 yards rushing, 121 yards rushing to the Detroit Lions with no running game to speak of. That's concerning. They had a Jeff Driscoll who still had – they completed –
Hold on. You're saying his name wrong, Big Gabe James. His name is Lamar Driscoll.
Think about it. If he for real, if he didn't make some mistakes with throwing the ball when he should have ran, that dude could almost ran for 100 yards against us. Like straight up. Like he had a lot of areas where he had bootlegs and he had positions where he could run the ball. And it's just like, I know we don't have the great defensive tackle, and man, I just hyped up Darian Thompson. I'm not saying you're a bad player, dog, but I just hyped you up on my damn page, and then you play like that.
But let me get a quick scouting report on Darian.
Come on, man.
He's better tackler inside, but he's horrible as it relates to coverage. Jeff Heath is better in coverage, and he's suspect a little bit at taking angles. Now, Jeff Heath can hit you hard, but he's not a better tackler than a Darian Thompson. But go ahead.
Well, hey, Darian missed some tackles in that game. Now he did have 6 tackles in that game, and like you said, but at the end of the day, our safety position still is our weak link. I mean, that's why the Cowboys went out and possibly tried to poach a Jamal Adams or see what you could get for him. Or, we really should have got Mika Fitzpatrick, but we'll leave that alone. He's over there balling right now. So that just makes it more prevalent how that has to be shown. I think Donovan Wilson got in a little bit toward the end of the game. Everybody's clamoring for Donovan Wilson, but people need to understand this. He is still a rookie. He is green and wet behind his ears. Okay.
True.
And do we really want to throw a rookie just because he's shown that in the preseason? See, people get deceived, and nobody's saying he is not a playmaker, but that was the preseason. We can't expect a rookie who has not played all year to all of a sudden come in and get interceptions out the blue like he's going to be some savior. Yes, we want to see him. Yes, I'd like to see him more. But for us to sit there and think we're going to depend on a rookie this far in the season, that's just not possible. We're just going to continue to need Thompson and Jeff Heath to step up because those are the guys that are going to be down the line. And what we need to talk about is who they're going to possibly bring up, Law, with Anthony Brown being out for the rest of the year now.
Wow. They might bring in the other Donovan Olumba. Now, he's not the fastest guy on earth.
But he got them long arms like Chris Richard likes.
Yeah, he'll clog up those passing lanes. He will fill in those spaces. And then on top of that, I think that he got enough continuity with the defense out there that we can roll out some packages that would benefit and favor us when we put the dread-headed monster out there, Donovan Olumba. Here's the thing,
I love
though.
The way he looks.
Yeah. He
that dread. That dread and all that, I just like it.
Just like my guy, man. If anybody watch Chadondas, he does this like film breakdown. It's very comical, but he called it activating the dreadlock powers. You see, just type in chiseled Adondas, man. He does a crazy breakdown, man. One of the best in the business, man. Look him up on YouTube and Instagram. But here's the thing, and we love to talk bad about this defense because we give up a lot of big passes, but we're not giving up money on the board, which is cool. However, we're not controlling and stopping the run because we play undisciplined football at times, especially against the running backs that can run up the gut, and those screen passes still been killing us. Not this game because we played it pretty decent.
Pretty good.
But statistics will show, or the trends will show, that this week we will have another horrible situation with the screen pass because we will stop it one week and then we will, the next week.
But you also are going against Jeff Driscoll too. You feel me? Kirk Cousins can throw that screen. Not saying it's a hard pass to throw, but it's just a point. You got better quarterback play who's going to recognize it better and maybe sell it more than Driscoll can. Right. Because he's just not that good of a quarterback. You feel me? True. One last thing right quick, Law, before you finish that. I got a $5 holler from Chish Jazz 10. If hopefully I said it right. I remember you was in the feed a couple days ago. So shout out to you. Now, we can answer this right quick, Law, and I can throw it to you. Why have the Cowboys didn't trade for a defensive lineman at the trade deadline? Lacks interior defense, will the boys be the demise in the playoffs? Marinelli out of the draft room.
You need to kick Marinelli. You need to lock the key and throw it away. Man. And say, Marinelli, we just want you to develop guys, not pick out guys. We just want you to develop. Don't pick them out because you be looking at them. Yes, got speed, got strength. Got burst, I don't want to see all of that from Papa Rob Marinelli. Let us get the groceries and you do the cooking, basically.
For sure.
For sure with him, man. My thing is they said he slammed on the table for Taco. He slammed on the table for Tristan. All I can say is that, hey, Papa Rob Marinelli, we don't like you at all. We love you. We just need for you to get out of the draft room and let those other boys do their job. In my opinion, the reason why the Dallas Cowboys did not go out there and pick up a guy during the trade deadline, I think that they trust their guys. They trust their philosophy. They trust.
It ain't no
system.
Thinking. They trust their damn guys. That's why Jeff Heath is still back there.
well, I try to be a little damn PC.
You good. I'll be the anti-PC. You be PC. I'll be anti-PC tonight. Okay. I'll roll with that. I'll take that.
Okay. Well, they trust their guys. You know what I'm saying. But here's the thing, though, big game, James. The philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys defense has failed us. I don't like the fact that we think that we can win with these undersized guys, and then when we play against a team that study and focus and are just well coached, they're going to take away what we do best, and we're not able to make adjustments. We can't snap our finger and we get a 330-pound monster that can fill in because nobody's that size, you see. And then on top of that, we don't value the safety. As much as I love Xavier Woods, he's still a free guy. He's not that guy that you want to say that to yourself that's going to play underneath him, that's going to be the big, strong, hit you, and, hey, you look around and say, who hit me? We don't have that type of resources on the team. Now, I'm not saying that I dogging out Xavier Woods because I love him. I love what he does out there. But still, I would love for him to play with a guy that's dynamic so he can feed off.
So he can play his game. And I think that's what the problem is. Just like you said, Law, Xavier Woods could be even better if he could concentrate and just be able to do his job. And I feel like maybe not have to worry about, hey, is Thompson doing his or is Heath doing his? We need that safety like a Jamal Adams that we've been screaming about that can be a strong safety that can still cover and can make calls where you can really let Xavier Woods really shine and roam and really play his true free safety position. I think he's a true free safety. He needs to be able to play free. That's why they call it free.
Freely, yeah.
Freely.
Free.
That's why they say free to roam, free to do other things, free to get balls out the air, those type of things. So, you know what? I understand that they trust their guys, but they're going to have to change this philosophy somehow, some kind of way. We can't talk about it this year because the Cowboys ain't drafted somebody. No. Now, he did that. The question was asked that how come they didn't grab somebody before the deadline? Now, the Cowboys did. They looked at Leonard Williams. They looked at him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's that space eater, but they did look. They did try to go out and say, let's see. And, hey, they did at least go out and get a Michael Bennett. He did have 2 sacks again this game. But I think what they understand is this. Marinelli's scheme is never having the big guy. So they're not going to bring the big guy in this year. But what they do want to have, what Marinelli does love, with that scheme, he wants his front 4 to be able to rush the quarterback. That's what Marinelli wants. And now we have that. We do have Robert Quinn, 8.5 sacks. You got Michael Bennett, who's came over. He has 3 sacks since he came over. D-Law, we know he's not having the greatest year, but I'm cool. I think D-Law still has had a good year. He's done great in the run game. He's still a great run defender. I know he's not getting the sacks, and everybody's going to look at the contract, and he's not getting the sacks. So everybody's going to beat him up about that. I get it. But I still think D-Law is a beast. And if you see a lot of the games, if you watch the tape, he's right there damn near every play. He's not like he's not getting to the quarterback. He's right there, and that quarterback is just releasing it. You get what I'm saying? So we have guys that can attack the quarterback. We just have to be sound with that linebacker play, in my opinion, Law, because a lot of times I see the linebackers overrunning the play. Running back cuts back, and then you got a big gain. If the linebackers stay true to what they're doing and stay disciplined, we'll have a lot more plays behind the line of scrimmage. But you see guys in the linebacking core, Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, Vander Esch, are overrunning plays and missing tackles. And when you're doing that and you have the guy behind the line of scrimmage or for a 2-yard gain and they break those tackles, that's what's happening with us. And they got to shut and close that down because, you know what? We got some tough games coming up, but I still think we can win.
Yes, we can win, and this is the thing with our defense.
Defense can still do it.
Defense can still do it. This is what makes, like we said, everything what makes our defense kind of like trash, right? We said we need safety help. We said we need defensive line like the big boy inside help. Okay, we can talk about that. But what improved and helped this defense out, believe it or not, Cowboy Nation and Big Game James, is the offense. The offense need to score early and often, and when we're up, we can pin our ears back on the defensive side of the ball. We got NASCAR packages. Then, on top of that, you won't have teams trying to say, okay, we're trying to run the daylights out of the Cowboys. If we can score early and often, and also with this, if we can control the clock, time of possession, I do know it sounds easy. I know it sounds easy, but that is the philosophy. That is the secret sauce or the ingredients for this defense because we are allergic for turnovers. We are allergic for takeaways. We can't, even if the ball hit them in the numbers, Big Game James, I feel like they're going to be like, oh, let me get the ball off me. You know what I mean? They don't want to get the interception. For some strange reason, it's been years since the last time we was the team that just snatches everything that the opposition threw to us. I think it was when Coach Zim was here.
Yeah, we did have a really good year, 2014.
2014?
2014. Rob Marinelli's, I believe, his first year he came with us. We didn't have a lot of sacks because we had no name. We had Mincy, we had Selvey, we had those guys that DeMarcus Lawrence was his first year. But we were a top 5 team in the league in turnovers.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the biggest things that we were very, they didn't have a good defense. Dallas didn't have a good defense in 2014. But one of the reasons why they stayed in the game, opportunistic. They had a lot of turnovers that year, forced a lot of turnovers, interceptions, and that still kept the defense afloat. So that's why we have to get turnovers, because even if you're probably getting gashed in the run, strip that ball. You might having a guy – I seen actually Kerry Hyder rip the ball from somebody. I almost wanted to do a backflip. Somebody actually tried to rip the ball when they were game tackling. I don't know why the Cowboys don't do that. Rip the ball, punch it out of their hands, do something, because we need to continually get turnovers. We saw, especially in that Philadelphia Eagles game, when you get those early turnovers, it puts you in favor. Just like when we play the Detroit Lions. First play, what happened? First run play, Ezekiel Elliott fumbles.
Right.
The Lions get great field position. What happens? They score 7 quick points. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That doesn't mean the Lions are a good team, but what happened was they were opportunistic with those plays, and now I got them on the board. And that's what we're going to need for our defense going forward. More opportunistic plays. I mean, statistic-wise, top 10 defense, but I don't think we played the best teams out there, and I think those stats kind of got morphed a little bit, especially those run stats when they were saying that, we were still under like 100 yards a game. I think it was the competition, because when we played some good running backs, the teams that we lost to, Dalvin Cook, he had 97 yards rushing. Aaron Jones, we lost that game too. He had over 100 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Kamara didn't have over 100 yards, but he did get some timely runs toward the end of the game. You get what I'm saying? So we need to really control that run game. I don't know if you have to sell all out or get that scheme together, but that's going to hurt us if they don't shut that down toward the end of the year. Like I said, especially if we get to the playoffs, dog, you got to be able to shut that run down.
Yes, indeed. And before we go and talk about these crazy Patriots, for everybody who's been saying that they are the real America's team. Oh, crazy stuff.
Please.
Let me just give a shout out to those, man, the sponsors, man, Stellos, man, making the donation to help grow the nation. I mean, the guy just keep dropping all of the love, man. I really appreciate you.
He is a beast, because they became a proud Patreon over us. So shout outs to you.
Stellos 300.
Stellos.
I call him Uncle Dave, man. I even know his real name. He's so dedicated to the nation, baby. Donation. Antoine, really appreciate you, especially young Wilson, man. I really, really, really appreciate you all, man. When you guys turn on the TV and y'all see me on one of those 4-letter networks or one of those other ESPNs, NFL, whatever beyond, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be like, hey, before we start, let me just give a shout out to those who helped supported the nation,
Hell yeah.
And you don't have to always do it with remuneration, with money.
Right.
You can share this thing. You can hit that like button, and you can tell a friend, neighbor, foe, even the trolls, where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sport Talk and Beyond. We talk life, too,
we love the trolls. I got 2 trolls in here. Eastside Harold been going ham, and then I got Juggernaut. Where you at, Juggernaut? Because he's an Aints fan. Yeah, I hear you, Juggernaut, and I'm going to give you a props. You all geeked up about them Saints, dog. I just want to okay, you beat us. What? Luckily, that wasn't like a dominating win. And you're all geeked up over there when we smacked you last year, but don't be all hyped up over those Saints. We're going to see y'all again, dog, and when we see you again, we're going to get you. Ain't nobody scared of no Saints, and we ain't scared of no team. Y'all want to talk all that trash, but you know what, Law?
What up?
This needs to be the damn week that we shut people the hell up.
Yes.
This needs to be the week, because everybody, you ain't playing no band. You ain't playing NPN. All the haters. You ain't playing nobody over 500. You ain't beating nobody over 500. Dak ain't threw the ball over 500. Man, shut up. Shut these critics up. Shut up. Shut these critics up, Dak. Shut these critics up, Cowboys. Go into New England and kick their butts and shut everybody up. And I want to hear your excuses. We go up there and beat that tail. And I don't want none of it. I don't want to hear none of it. We beat them Patriots. I don't want to hear none of it.
They always try to control the narrative.
Y'all gonna try,
They don't have no wide receivers.
No, I don't want to hear none of that. It's going to be in New England. They're going to have their guys. I don't want to hear no excuses from you haters. We go up there and whoop that Taz.
Yes, we're gonna whoop that ass.
We're gonna whoop that Taz, that monkey Taz. I said it 2 weeks ago that we're gonna beat them Patriots. We're gonna beat them, and I want to hear you haters jump in my feed and jump in. You know how y'all love leaving comments on the page and inbox? Well, you better leave them comments when we beat them Patriots too, because I'm going to find you.
Hey, and you know what this thing is right here, Big Game James? You remember the start of the season, everybody, all of those fly, Eagles, fly.
Right.
I haven't seen an Eagles fan since the time we done mollywopped them all over the field. Have you seen any Eagles fans around here?
Man, they've been in hiding because you know what, the Eagles fans, they talk the most and got the most excuses. Oh, man, Carson Wentz would be better if all our receivers weren't dropping the ball. Cowboys lead the league and drop balls. What's your next excuse? Because one of my best friends is a Philly fan. Well, they keep on jumping passes, and that's why Carson. You weren't saying that before, man. Shut up. Just say he ain't playing good, and y'all ain't playing good either. Just keep it real. Shut up.
Shout out to you, Rodney Ellis and Joshua and Q Childs, man. Really appreciate you all. All right, so we're gonna talk about this the Patriots. I can't stand them, and it's not because they won a couple of Super Bowls and these sorts of things, but it just goes to show you that they are the team that everybody that I don't look. If I saw it to say this right here, Big Game James, who was the quarterback before Tom Brady? They'd be like, and I said, who's the quarterback before Drew Bledsoe? They can't find you those answers, you see. But they just one of those people, the fans out there for the Patriot land, just jumped on the bandwagon, which is cool. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. We play against the Patriots team, and this is the thing. When the Dallas Cowboys play against a quarterback that can't run out of the pocket, can't escape, it's going to be one of those long nights for old Tom Brady. Now, he is a dog as it relates to getting the ball out quick, but I believe that this particular front four is going to be able to eat if we can shut down the run early and often, and if we can score early and often. I think that we can get to Tom Brady and make him see ghosts.
I mean, listen, let's keep it all the way funky. Everybody's hyping up these New England Patriots. They playing a bum division, okay? True. They haven't beat nobody this year, okay? Right. They just beat the Eagles, but they're reeling. They haven't beat anybody. They played the Baltimore Ravens, who, that was one of the first teams they had played, right? Me and you were talking on Twitter and posting, oh, yeah, guess what? That defense that was so vaunted, only giving up 9 yards a game. This is one of the best defenses we've seen in a long time. No, it ain't. You ain't played nobody, just like they were saying that about the Cowboys. Oh, you ain't played nobody. Well, they didn't play nobody. And then when they played a good team, they got manhandled. Over 200 yards rushing. So, Cowboys, number one, look at the tape and see what the Ravens did, because we can run on them. Not just we should run on them, Law. Look how many teams have dominated them in the run game this season. So the defense ain't all that. It's good, but it's more of they got a really good – they got a good coordinator. Bill Belichick is a great mind. And just like Brian Broaddus has said, they switch up from series to series.
They do.
They don't just sit there and say, you got us one series, we're going to stay this way. No, Bill Belichick will go to that sideline and get to talking to that defense and say, well, we need to switch up and change. That's why they're good. Right. They're not stubborn, Cowboys.
Right.
They're not stubborn in what they do. They will change that from series to series to make sure they get that game. And so that's what the Cowboys need to understand. But we really need to really press this run. They're not really scary on the offensive side of the ball. Guess what? We know they're going to scream, but our defense, if we played like we played in that Saints game last year, where the reason why Dallas played so good is they were great tackling that game. You remember, Law? We were the Cowboys linebackers, defensive players, the front line, cornerbacks, they were sound tackling. We didn't miss no tackles, it seemed like, that game. They were all over the ball, swarming and not miss tackles. If we can get that on these Patriots, stop that screen game, because you know they're going to screen the hell out of us. Yeah. They're going to screen the hell out of us, and they're going to drop those short passes like Tom Brady does. He's a dink and dunk guy now.
True.
He's not throwing it deep all the time anymore. He's a dink and dunk guy. Keep everything in front of him. Stop the screen game, and like you said, stop that run early. We can pin our ears back and get after Tom Brady and make him make mistakes. I don't give a hell how good Tom Brady is. If you get pressure on him, he's going to make mistakes. Any quarterback will. So our defense does have a really good opportunity to shine.
Yes, and this should be a game. If the defense want to run around talk about hot boys, we on fire, and if in offense, I mean not the offense, the other part of the nickname that they gave themselves, the Purge Squad. If they're gonna run around and give themselves these nicknames, and it's cool and all, and I'm not trying to throw any hate or salt at them or shade, however the kids say these days. What I'm saying is that we want them to be the Dallas Cowboys. They can run around with these T-shirts and the cats and chains, like you said a couple of weeks ago. But what we need to do is create that pressure and let Tom Brady feel it, because I think that he would tap dance like the late, great Gregory
He's a
Hines.
statue.
Yes. Yeah, he's a statue back there. So we need to hit him early and often and know for a fact that there will be, and I'm not trying to speak it into the existence, but there will be a rough in the quarterback pass. It's just going to be that. Let's just call a spade a spade. But when we hit him, just hit him.
Hit him.
Just hit
him. Don't put your hands over top near his head. Don't touch Tom Brady's head nowhere. Don't swing your hand nowhere near his head, because they're going to throw that flag. They're going to throw it. But as you said, Law, this is the Cowboys' opportune time. This is one of the reasons why you got a Michael Bennett, okay? Yeah. Because now you have a Robert Quinn who's been playing nasty. Like I said, 8.5 sacks. I pray the mighty Quinn into existence. I don't care what y'all said. Y'all should have been following me, because I said Robert Quinn before they was even talking about him leaving Miami. I said if we get him, it's going to make a difference. So you see that pressure he can put on the team. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get after the quarterback, because he has. I know he doesn't have the sacks, but if you really watch the tape, he's been playing great in the run game, okay? And he's been right there. It's not like he's nowhere close to the quarterback. He is right there. And then you see Bennett benefiting, and then even Malik Collins. He's not the greatest run defender, but he's a damn good pass rushing defensive tackle. So you got those four, and then you can bring in Hyder and even Dorrance Armstrong Jr., that this is the opportune time for our front line to really make waves against Tom Brady. And if we can really affect him, get him off his spots, shut him down early, and, man, you can't have a Frank Gore, Nick Chubb, Mark Ingram, those guys getting 100-yard games, and Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard do not be effective in this game. That's when I'm going to question play calling again, or blocking or run scheme, because if those teams are doing that, there's no reason why Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard shouldn't feast and eat on that defense, because it's soft up in the middle, dog.
It is soft up in the middle. They got finesse guys as well. They got finesse guys. So we can capitalize. It's just that they need to trust. Looking back at this Detroit game, they 26 against the run. And it looked like those 40 yards that Ezekiel Elliott got, and I'm not throwing any salt at him, was hard for us to get those 40-something yards. And it was hard. And I'm looking at it like, man, they 26 against the run. Regardless of how we look at it, I'm not a stats guy that's saying that, okay, according to the stats index, that this is what we should get because of the historical data support this and these sorts of things. But God dog it, we should show at least or see one or two plays that this defense, that this offense, as it relates to running the rock, can at least gash them for a few. Now, we playing against a far more superior opponent this weekend. We still should be able to gash them at least once or twice a game. At least once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I think the defense can really step up. I know it can, but like I said, there's no way in hell Jeff Driscoll led Detroit Lions should drop 27 points on us. I mean, facts. Like, it shouldn't happen. But at the same time, let's go back and look at what we did to keep them in the game. Second play of the game, Ezekiel Elliott fumbles the ball.
Okay.
We talked about that. We need to get turnovers. They score quickly. And then our special teams has been atrocious. I think it's almost dead last, and almost not dead last, but it's like 28th ranked through almost all major categories in the special teams. We gave up a big special teams run back. Gave them great field position. They scored. And then, I mean, we just played uneven on the back end, letting Driscoll throw long bombs. I mean, seriously, that cannot happen. So that's where you get like, man, how is this happening with this bum quarterback? So I don't know if it's, the discipline. We got to figure it out, Law. And statistically, Dallas Cowboys are not bad this year on defense. Like I said, it's been a top 10 defense all year, but I believe it's been misled with some of the teams we play. But they have to step up. as I said before, it seems like teams scheme us really good. Good offensive coordinators scheme us good, and we tend to, it looks like in my eyes, that they adjust too late. When it's the third quarter, they were killing us in the screen game, that Vikings game, killing us. But we didn't really shut it down until like end of the third, fourth quarter. By that time, a lot of the damage was done. We got to do that early. We can't let this game get away with little things. They have to shut that down early and often. And take a page from the Ravens book. They said, we are going to smash mouth you. We are going to beat you with this run no matter what you think. And that's what they did. So at the end of the day, it's got to be this good balance. We got to be able to run the ball, and we got to get a game where we can't have Ezekiel Elliott 14 carries, 32 yards in this game against the Patriots. Or you having a Tony Pollard with 2 carries for 10 yards and Pollard getting 1 reception. Those 2 guys have to be shown. And I said, this is a game where Tony Pollard can really, really shine, especially with some screen passes. We're talking about how we get killed with screen passes. Throw a screen pass to Tony Pollard. And I think it was in here, I think it was Cowboys 7-1. No disrespect to you, but he said, Ezekiel Elliott don't have the burst. Well, I saw the burst on that screen pass to Dak. I mean, he was wide open. There wasn't nobody else around him. He should show some burst then. I say I saw the burst when you're getting guys all around you and if you're getting those edges. But we really need to open up that screen game with us. Either hit Ezekiel with it, hit Tony Pollard with it, but that screen game really needs to be more prevalent for us because we have the type of players that can do it.
Yes, indeed. And everybody must know that this team, the Patriots, they can play man-to-man, but they mostly play in that zone. And they got zone cover corners. Gilmore, dynamic guy. I love him, but he's not as physical as most people think. He's a guy that is and will sit back in that zone and will allow you to catch the ball underneath. And he like to jump route, so we can take advantages of those situations because they got McCourtney. I think that's how you say that man's name, the safety.
McCourtney.
Yeah. And he's an aggressive guy, a guy that just really, really will jump on a route. Yeah, and they will roll coverages to Amari Cooper's way. So this game,
they're going to try to take away the best players.
They're going to try to. That's what they do. That's what they do.
They take away your best players.
So guess what? Guess what, big game, James?
Yeah.
This should be a big game for the tight end as well.
Darwin.
It's going to be a big game for the tight end because they played the style of the Patriots defense. And then on top of that, this should be another big game for 13, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Michael
and Cobb.
And Cobb,
sprinkle it in. Like I said, Cobb should still be able to, as the third receiver, be able to make plays. We have guys that can make plays on the receiving end. Like I said, you got Cobb's got 36 catches. I think Gallup has 43 for the year. I'm looking up Amari Cooper right now. But we have guys that are devastating in the pass game. So even though they have good, like you said, Gilmore, they got McCourty back there, they got some good cornerbacks, but they can still be exploited. And like you said, they are going to try to take Amari Cooper away. And he's not 100%. So Gallup, if you hear this, we need another big game from you, dog. Now, I know you shined against them Lions. That's the Lions, though. That's the Lions. I ain't taking nothing away from the Gallup, but that's the Lions. I need you to do this against these Patriots.
Yes, indeed. And then on top of that, what the Patriots like to do, and believe it or not, they love tendencies. They love trends. They're going to take away old reliable. And when Dak Prescott try to stare down or look at on third down, number 82.
Please don't look over that. I'm not worried about that interception.
Do not do it because they look at so much tape. And trust me, when Jason Witten catches the ball, he hold it like a loaf of bread, of course, but it's so not all the way high. And these LBs, those safeties, they're gonna be punching at the ball. They're gonna try to punch it out of Jason Witten's hands. Also, they're gonna try to sell the form on stopping Ezekiel Elliott. That's the reality. That's why you're saying Tony Pollard should have a good game. And on the offensive side of the ball, keep in mind they don't call it against the Patriots. They're gonna rub you. They're gonna use those picks. You're going to see number 11. Bill Belichick is going to say this. Although he's a defensive coordinator / defensive head coach, whatever you want to call it for the Patriots, he's going to say this big game, James. He's going to line up number 11 on Chido Awuzie. It's going to be a hell of a game for him because he's going to have everything thrown at him.
That's what Bill Belichick after him. Yeah, that's what Belichick does.
That's on his map right now. I can just look at the game plan. attack number 24. If you go in the Patriots locker room and you go into their game study film, they're going to say attack number 24, shut down Ezekiel Elliott, and when they pass on third downs to Jason Witten, hit the ball out, punch the ball out, make sure you get him down to the ground, which he's going to go anyway. But that's how the Patriots are going to design and try to stop the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you know what? This is strength against strength, Law. I mean, straight up, this is strength against strength.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Cowboys, still number one total offense, number one passing offense, 7th in rushing, 4th in points, 1st in third downs, and you're going against the New England defense, who's 1st in total yards defense.
That's yes.
2nd in pass, and they're only giving up 152 yards passing a game. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
They're 10th overall in rushing, 1st in points allowed, and 1st in third downs efficiency, and Cowboys are 1st. So this is strength against strength right here. We're going to see. And then, like I said, the Patriots offensively, they're very normal. 24th rank in rushing, 17th in passing, 16th overall. So this is a game where strength on strength. So, like I said, our defense really needs to play a good game, but we're going to need that offense. And this is the game, to me, where Dak Prescott can really shut up everybody. Because they're still not giving him his due. Even though he's doing everything that we talked about earlier in this show, they're still trying to say he ain't played nobody. This is the game, Dak Prescott, if you listening, this is your game, dog. Like, they talked about signature games in your career. Signature games in your career?
Yeah.
This is a signature game, Law, that could be for Dak Prescott. Because if he can go into New England and beat New England and have a good game, I mean, this solidifies him in the MVP race. This solidifies him should solidify him to everybody else that you can't say nothing. This dude is legitimate and he's real. And I think Dak is going to – I know we're going to have to run that ball, but I really feel like Dak is going to have to make those critical plays in this game to win this.
Yes, indeed. And shout out to Eastside Harold. I see you in the chat, man. Really appreciate you.
I love you, Eastside. I really
love
do.
You, man.
I do, dog. So give me another donation, Eastside. You've been donating like a motherfucker. I appreciate you. Donate up in here because I just showed you love. Give me a $2 holler for me, Eastside Harold. Just give me a $2 holler.
And on our closing remarks on everything, I have to say this. And shout out to St. Clair for making the donation to help grow the nation as well.
Shout out to you.
Here's the thing, Big Game James. When we talk about this game, a crucial game, I have to pose a question to you.
Okay.
If we win convincingly, you know where I'm going with this. It's talking about Coach Red, you see. And I'm preferencing the statement. And you know Jerry Jones is an emotional
Fool's gold.
You know Jerry Jones.
Fool's gold.
Hey,
Fool's gold.
Look, quick story, Cowboy Nation. I was listening in to one of those stations, and Jerry Jones called in, and he gave us a story on how he almost gave Bill Belichick a hiring job. You see, Bill Belichick just got fired, I believe, or lost his job from the Browns, and they was at this ski resort, one of these where all the millionaires play at, you know. And Jerry Jones said he felt this bump on his back. You know, somebody kept bumping into him. So Jerry Jones kind of turned around. He said he turned around slowly. And the guy said, "Hey, I'm a good coach. I can coach your team. Just give me a shout out whenever you get a chance. Come talk to me," basically. And he said, "Who are you?" And he had to take off all of his ski mask stuff. And it was Bill Belichick. And Jerry Jones sat down and he said to himself, man, he drunk many of Johnny Walker Blue thinking about he could have had Bill Belichick as his head coach.
That's crazy.
Let that sink into your mental, Cowboy Nation. So regardless of how we feel about Jason Garrett, if Jason Garrett win this game convincingly, you know, wins only go, and I'm prefacing my statement, Cowboy Nation, wins only go as it relates to records to the head coach as well as the quarterback. Those are the only way you can look up records, who won and who lost the game. Believe it or not, it's an official record for those two. Will this be a game that Jerry Jones himself get emotional enough? And he said, my son,
Yeah, he's good. You know he is. Come on, man. Come on.
My
Come on.
son beat
We
Bill
don't know
Belichick.
Jerry Jones by now. This is what he's waiting for.
And I signed him to a 3-year extension or a 5-year extension based off of this game. See, that's how prevalent this game is, basically.
Oh, now let's keep it all the way funky. Shout out to Chish Chaz 10 for another $2 holla. Says he loves big game and Law Nation appreciation. He says Jeffrey Epstein didn't off himself. That's a whole nother story right there, and I feel you on that one. But guess what? Appreciate that love right there. But I agree with you. People don't understand this, Law. Mm-hmm. Jason Garrett had 3 consecutive 8-8 seasons. Not a winning season yet. Not a winning season yet. His last year of the deal, he has 1 winning season, and he got a 5-year deal. Wow. Off 1 winning season, he got a 5-year deal. Now, what you just said is going to be prevalent because if we go in, Dallas goes into New England and kicks their butt
convincingly, yeah.
You know what Jerry's gonna be saying. That's my boy. I told you. See, I told you, Jason. I told you. Just gotta stay believing in him. I told you. It's the fool's goal. He's just waiting for this. He's wanting this so bad, not only because he wants to say this is his baby, but this is his baby. I did this. I am the one who brought Jason. I am the one who stayed with him. We got it because I did it. And that's a lot of this with this Jason Garrett thing. Let's keep it real. It's a lot. That's what a lot of this is, that he don't want to look like I made the wrong decision with the coach. I mean, what do we see with the Dallas Cowboys with the draft picks? They keep draft picks because they don't want to look like they're wrong.
True. I didn't.
I mean, you got Dalton Schultz, who's just now got 3 He's got 3 catches. Mm-hmm. You got a Chris Covington, for a linebacker from Indiana, who's still on the team and has done nothing.
Yeah, true.
You got a 2nd-round pick of Chidobe Awuzie, who's playing okay, but we know Jordan Lewis is a better cover guy, but he won't start in that position. Why? Because that draft status, and they don't ever want to look wrong. Even why do you think Rico Gather stayed on the team that long? They don't want to look wrong.
Wow.
Like, come on. They don't want to look wrong, so they're going to keep things going because they don't want to look wrong in certain aspects. Like, yeah, we kind of made a mistake right here, so we're just going to – Taco, they didn't ever want to admit that daggone mistake.
It's rough, man. And here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. It's not that we want Jason Garrett to be fired. I'm not. It's not that.
I don't think he's the greatest coach, but we want him to succeed. Who wants your coach we want him to win. How long we gotta wait? That's why we're the media, me and you, Law. That's why we're frustrated, because yes, we want you to win, but when you posted it, I posted. When we see the longest tenure coaches right now, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Ron Rivera, Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin. When we see all those longest tenure coaches, what do they all have in common? They all have at least 1 AFC or NFC championship and 1 Super Bowl appearance. So that's why people are sitting back like, okay, dude, you're in this class as far as the being a tenure coach. You have the most wins in Dallas Cowboys history besides Tom Landry. You're the 2nd winningest coach. Best winning percentage, one of the top best winning percentages, and you only have 2 playoff victories. What else are the other people supposed to say?
Like, by golly, let's sign him to a 10-year contract.
Like, what else are the people supposed to say when you see you have 3 NFC titles, you only have 1 losing season, but you don't have anything else to show for it? What are we supposed to say?
Yeah. And here's the thing, Cowboy Nation, and I got to tie this in to realistically speaking, objectively speaking. When I purchase my vehicle, it says the elite package, meaning that the seat, when I get into my vehicle, it automatically memorizes my settings, right? It let me know, welcome, Law Nation. You are now in your seat, you see. And it got a panoramic roof where when I hit the button, it goes all the way back. You see what I'm saying? It got cruise control. When it's cold outside, it can warm up my rear end. You see what I'm saying? It says elite package for a reason. Now, the Dallas Cowboys got an elite roster, and they are considered the America's team. There's no way in life that when I get into this car that I purchased, this vehicle that I purchased, that I have to roll up my windows manually. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
that I have to adjust the seat without it being electronically. You see what I'm saying? I have an expectation for my vehicle just as much as I have the expectations of the America's team. This team's supposed to be prevalent enough or have the gumption or the appearance to be the best, because guess what, Big Game James? There's no salary cap as it relates to head coaching.
Exactly. And there's no excuses either.
No excuses.
There's no excuses. Go to Big Game James page and look at my cover page. It says no damn excuses. It don't say damn, but it say no excuses because I don't want to hear it anymore. I mean, after 10 years, if you're a manager of a team and after 10 years you're not you're doing good, but you're not getting over the hump as far as the numbers go, I don't think they're going to keep you as a manager. They're going to demote you, or they're going to get somebody else that can get the job done. That's just the way it is. And as I said before, I personally just don't want to fire a whole new coach and start all over and do all the extra. But by golly, dog, like you said, Dallas has too much talent, has had too much talent, and is not getting where it's supposed to be. And if that doesn't happen, what are you supposed to do? Sit there and keep on trying to believe for the next 3 or 4 years that it's going to happen? It's been almost 10 years in the game, and it hasn't. And if it doesn't happen this year, why are we supposed to sit there to believe that the next 3 or 4 years with the same type of talent that you've had, you're going to do it now? And I just want to say one time, Cowboys 71, he said he thought that Garrett had 2 successful seasons. He did. But when he got his contract to get the 5-year extension, he didn't have a winning season.
True. He didn't have that winning season. So with all that being said, Cowboy Nation, we should get this victory this weekend. We really should
beat the Patriots. They're not this – oh, my gosh. We're not looking at them like they're some freaking Goliath right now.
True. And that's just the reality of it. We love this team. We don't like it. We love this Dallas Cowboys team, and we want the best. We not shooting for average. We don't aim for average.
There's no time for average because when you look at these teams across the board in the NFC law, do you tell me who's the number 1 dominant team in the NFC?
Oh man, the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, but I'm saying there's not one team you look at in the NFC, right? Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about it collectively.
Yeah, collectively. If you look at the NFC collectively, name the most dominant team in the NFC right now.
I can't put the 49ers there. I can't.
I can't either.
By stats, you can say that. But you line them up and lace them up, Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers.
I'm not sold on no damn Garoppolo.
Yes, indeed.
He's okay, but I mean, come on, dog. I'm not going to sit there and say the Niners came out of nowhere. They ain't been dominating the last 3 or 4 years, and we know about them one-year wonders. I'm not saying they not have a team that they have been building because they do have a good roster as far as what they've built. John Lynch has done a great job as far as him building that team. So now let me say they're bums. Not going to say that. But I'm not going to sit there and say they're so dominant in NFC. I look at that record, say it's a dominating record, but I don't know if they're a dominating team because you go across their schedule and look at the teams that they played. They didn't play a lot of good teams either. They played a lot of sub-500 teams as well. So their record could be misleading. And when they played a team, the Seahawks, what happened?
Yeah,
they lost.
And the Saints needed help to beat us. You see what I'm saying? For those who's putting down Saints. The
man,
Saints
shut the
needed
hell
help.
Up about them damn Saints, man. Everybody, Saints, man. Let me give you a hand clap for the Saints because you had a winning season last year. But it's not too long ago you had 3 straight 7-9s. Y'all ain't been dominating like the whole world. Like y'all, the Saints ain't dominating either. Okay, dog. Their defense ain't dominating or nothing like that. So let's just get out of here with that. Dallas has every bit of chances, any team in the NFC, to take it to the Super Bowl, even with their safety position not great, even with their defensive tackle not having a big one tech. They can still take this team to the damn Super Bowl. So there's no excuses on my end, period.
With a capital P.
Capital PP.
Yes, indeed, Cowboy Nation. So that's all the stuff that we have to talk about for tonight, man. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all, especially those Jonathan and Jay Outlaws. Man, that's a cool name. Perez,
yes, sir.
Sean and Sandy, all of you all that's on my Facebook panel. Please share. Thank you all for tuning in. And Calvin Williamson and all of those people that Savage Time, man, Elijah, Rodney Ellis, appreciate you all, man. Give your shout out to Big Game James. Let them know where they can find you at.
Oh, yeah. Let me give a shout outs to people who are in there. Hey, I'm going to give you a shout outs to the haters. Juggernaut, Eastside Harold, I'm going to give a shout out to you. Shout out to you, dog. Tony Rivera, Cowboys Vet 71, Mr. 30442, a.k.a. Jay Uga. A lot of got names. Jay Outlaw Perez, what's up with you? Fun times, Garrett. Contender Pretender, you know what it is. Gambino, you know Gambino. That's a dog. Burn Bar, Jay Jones, Thurston Howe the third, Tony Rivera once again. So many names. Derek Clegg. Just appreciate, had a really good crowd in here, bigger than it was last time. So shout out to everybody. I can't just thank everybody enough. And I'm gonna say that every freaking show. I love y'all. Yeah. I appreciate the comments, the fact of the donations, the follow, subscriptions, because you don't have to. There's a lot of other people talking Cowboys football out there. There's a lot of people talking Cowboys football, and you don't have to subscribe to Silver and Blue Nation, for the people have shown the support like you have. We appreciate you. But you know what? You should, because we bring that fire. I really believe we bring the fire, and that's why you do. So continue to support, donate, subscribe, because the more you do that, I'm trying to tell you, me and Law, we love this.
Yes.
We love our Cowboys, and we love bringing this to the people. And the more you subscribe, the more you like, the more you donate, it just gives us more fire to get in that lab, study more tape, put out more fire content, whether it's production, editing, voice, anything. We use that money to put back into the system so we can bring y'all even better stuff. So please, this money that you donate, it ain't going to waste. It ain't or a freaking, oh, I got some money, let me go get this. No, this is to better and grow the nation. So continue to support so we can continue to give even more better content to you. But I want to just thank you for all the subscribers. Check us out, Silver and Blue Nation, YouTube, Instagram. My guy Ryan Humford is working with me. He is really going hard on the Silver and Blue Nation. He is full staff with me. He's going hard in the paint with the posting on Silver and Blue Nation, my Twitter page. I really love it, and I appreciate you, Ryan. That's a shout out to you. But continue to grow and continue to listen, because so we can make this thing great, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Y'all listen to Big Game James, the minister of defense, man. Always laying it down and putting it down like 5 billion pounds, man.
Yes, sir.
And Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grow this thing one day at a time, one movement at a time, brick by brick, because then we can look back and say, hey, nation, this is what we build together, because we're going to make it there one way or another.
Yeah, we're going to make this.
Hey, they say shoot for the moon. If you miss, you land amongst the stars.
Yes.
Baby, trust me. We already amongst the stars, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.
Peace.
I'm gonna do that Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dak Prescott.
Man, I'll turn my damn hip out if I try to do something.
Go.
Man, good stuff, dog. Good one. I like that. Like I said.